Hi, I have a video presentation to present, and it based on the topic teacher stress and coping. I will be specifically presenting on teacher stress, and my colleague will come and continue with the coping. Now, stress is a common human catastrophe that affects many people during our time. It is a state of worry or a mental tension caused by difficult situation. Teacher stress, as defined as unpleasant and negative emotions such as anger, frustration, depression, and nervousness due to some definite situation in the field of teaching. Let's say a teacher is presenting the fact that the teacher has to accomplish a desired result, but there is uncertainty in it. The situation is basically there is desired result and there is constraint. So the two approaches cannot compromise each other. Therefore, the teacher is actually under pressure, and when the teacher is under pressure, it automatically comes in the stress. That's where the teacher is experiencing stress. What are some of the common factors that cause teacher stress? First of all, we look at the workload, and then we look at the time factors. Their workload and their limited time. The teacher's desire is to finish the workload within this limited time. And then when the teacher look at the workload and the time itself, it's too much to be done within this limited time. Therefore, the teacher is under pressure, and now the stress comes in. Okay, two, we look at teachers' expectation, either from the student or from the school administration decisions and functions. The teacher's expectation to the students is the students have to be well-behaved, disciplined, cooperate, work according to plan, and finishes the lesson according to the time. But when the student turn against what the teacher's expectation, then the teacher is under pressure. Now, the stress comes into a teacher. That's two. Now, the three is the school administration and functions. In the professional management, the teacher needs many things to really manage in the classroom arena, where the school administration has to assist the teacher in his professional management in the classroom. When the school administration function does not meet some of his or her expectations, then the teacher is in pressure or is in stress. The last one, the teacher is social and cultural pressure towards a teacher. Given the fact that I will give an example, a female, good, beautiful teacher teaching in one of the schools. The parents and relatives at home arrange or engage a groom to get married to the female lady. Whatever if it means, but the female lady has never given a permission or consent for the parents to do that. It's on their own will that arrange this engagement. When the news spread to the female teacher, she is under pressure and she's under stress because she cannot accept the fact that the parents and the relatives are doing that. the social and cultural pressure that contributes to the teacher stress. Okay, when all these situations are not properly measured and managed, a teacher is down with unpleasant and negative emotions, which affected the mental and the normal functioning of the mind and body. However, when it is not treated in the first stage, there are effects of stress that a teacher endures. What are some of the teachers? What are some of the effects of the teacher stress? 1, I look at behaviors problem. 2, displacement of anger. 3, increase of alcohol and drug. Okay, increase of alcohol and drug is unwanted. The teacher has never been to such situation, but just because of this pressure or the stress, the teacher has to overcome these things or the stress. In order to overcome, he or she must go for alcohol and drug. Okay, then high blood pressure comes in. Then sleeping problem, and the stress comes in. The teacher is thinking about how he will be managing such situation. So then it affects the body, it affects the brain. Then it affects his or her sleeping. That's why the teacher has sleepless nights, tiring days and nights, and at the same time, headache is part and parcel of the effects of stress. Okay, what are some of the consequences of the stress, its effects, and then the consequence? A teacher is a person, and the person with the intellect, the knowledge, okay, the body, the spiritual part of it, and then the psychological being. And when the person is affected, it reduces the working capacity in a sense that the teacher performance in the classroom decreases dramatically. Then tasks who are the victimized community or who are the victimized people when a teacher is under pressure or is with the stress. It is basically the students that are affected, because the teacher, by all means, must transmit knowledge, skills, values to the students. And then, if he is affected with the stress, the teacher, the students are the most victimized group. So, in this sense, the teacher is down with stress. We must take appropriate measures, techniques to really make sure that the teacher is gaining his normalcy back into where he is from the previous times.
Teacher stress, as presented by my colleague previously, teacher stress is one of the serious issues in schools around the country. So it must be dealt with great concern. Otherwise, its effect can be the downfall for all of us as teachers and students. So we must learn to cope with teacher stress as much as possible. So what is coping? Coping refers to conscious strategies that is required to reduce stress. Managing stress is not just the responsibility of individual teachers. Schools have an important role to play in developing a workplace that help to minimize their teachers' stress. Technically, coping with teachers' stress is a collaborative approach. It is the responsibility of everyone in the school to support one another and understand individual teachers' strengths and weaknesses. School community have to understand the sources of the stress in order to improve support for teachers. It is less relatively impactful if you have strong coping mechanisms. So it is very important for all teachers to have a strong coping mechanism. Because when you have a coping mechanism, you will learn how to cope with certain stressful behavior of students or in the school, so that you will learn to cope stress by yourself. It also depends on individual person's self-esteem to combat stress. So there are some ways to cope with teacher stress, and here are some of them. Avoid workplace gossip. You see, in a workplace, as in schools, you as a teacher, you don't have to gossip about your fellow teacher or your colleague. You see, when you are gossiping about him or her, and when he or she knows or finds out that you are gossiping about him or her, this will cause a downfall, you see, in a performance in the curriculum of teaching and learning. So it will affect her, so her performance will not be up to the standard that is required. So stop gossiping if you're one of the gossipers. Practice adaptive behavior of thinking. Seek advice and assistance from the headmaster or the principal or the school board or senior staff, so they can assist you to cope up with the stress that you are facing. Take a long walk. You see, sometimes when you feel that you are being stressed out by the workload or by some students' behavior, you have to take a walk in the morning or in the night, in the forest or in the streets, so that when you are walking, you will find yourself in a good position to cope with the stress that you are facing. Okay, sometimes read books like science fiction, non-fiction. When you read, it will help you to cope with stress. And do some physical activities and exercise. That's very important. You have to do it. It's for your health and your self-fitness. And always think positively. Because when you think positively, your mind is the control center of your body. So when you think positively, it will control the rest of your body. So your body will be in good shape to focus on your teaching and learning without facing any stress. And most importantly, be aware of what stresses you. You have to make a list of events that leave you stressed out with 1 or 2 coping strategies to reduce the stress for each. So when you found them occur in your teaching, you use those strategies as an opportunity to practice your stress reduction techniques and note what works for you. And also cut down on drinking and smoking, sedatives and stimulants. You see, some of us teachers, when they found themselves being stressed out, they just go and drink or smoke, you see. They drink alcohol or smoke weed or marijuana, thinking that it will help cope with their stress or relieve them from their stress. But it won't do. This drinking and smoking only offer temporary relief and don't solve any problems at all. They can create mental and physical health problems in long term. So all of us as teachers and students, ancillary staff and school administrations need to be vigilant in looking out for the warning signs of teachers and stressful behavior in ourselves and our colleagues. With understanding and empathy, we can work together to find ways to mitigate causes of teacher stress and create a healthy environment for everyone in our school community. so that it becomes a conducive professional environment for effective teaching and learning. So thank you for your time viewing this video. We have arrived at the end of this video. So if you like this video, please give us a like and subscribe to our channel. Thank you so much.